how do we make every moment a sacred prayer, like our daily activities, even the mundane? Um, and I love this topic so much because it is, I mean, that's what we're here for. Like, why can't every moment be magic? Why can't every moment be beautiful and so filled with love and light? Um, waking up in the morning and greeting the sun, greeting Inti Taite, greeting the earth, greeting Pachamama, greeting yourself, and just being like, wow, I'm here. Like, this awesome. And then having that moment when you wake up of just being in that sacredness, um, maybe spending time with your mesa, spending time with your altar, spending time in prayer, drinking your hot tea or hot beverage, and just enjoying that moment and having it be sacred. And you start your day off like that, like it's just going to transform your life so much. And then bringing that forward throughout your day. Um, I work at a tech company as tech support IT. And a lot of people are like, that's, you know, it's kind of different. um, it's not the usual. It's kind of challenging to try to bring the sacred into that. That's been one of the challenges I've been bringing into it is how do I make that sacred? And it's so much about being at work and seeing the divine in everyone you work with, the people I talk to, um, and how do we come together as a community within that organization? How do we make this part of ourselves sacred? Because we can't get away from the corporate structure that we have now. It's just prevalent and good for you if you can, but not all of us can. Um, and so it's how do we go into those places and still hold our prayer, hold ourselves, hold the divine, um, and not let it take away our light, you know. Um, and for me, that's been a lot of exploration, and I have a little altar at work, just to kind of ground me in and bring me back. And um, I take walks. I go out, and we happen to have a beautiful waterfall behind my work. I'm pretty lucky in a trail. And I'll go out back there every day for 30 minutes and just be with the trees, be with the waters, be with the birds, and be and ground in and just remind myself, like, yeah, I'm a part of this. I'm a part of this. Especially, in the tech world where it's easy, it's a lot of mind, and a lot of out of body experiences. So going back into nature and just grounding back into myself and reminding myself, yeah, this is all part of the earth. This is all part of Pachamama. This is all part of the cow sai. So yeah, it's so important. It's so important to me, and I feel like it's such an important thing for people to explore within themselves is making every moment sacred. Even with your friends and family and loved ones, like treating those moments as sacred, not just like, ugh, oh, this person's, I don't want to go see this person, or maybe you do, but you don't treat it as something special. But like when you start to like really look at things and define them as sacred, and like these things that the universe has brought to you, your parents or your siblings or your friends or whoever, like the universe brought them all to you. Like they're in your life for a reason because the universe brought them to you, and that's so special. And maybe you've had bad relationships or you know challenges, um and I'm sorry for that if you have. um and I don't want to bypass any emotions that are coming with that, but there's still this sacredness that happens with these relationships and who the universe brings into your life. And so starting to like look at those, and really feel just how it is to be with these people, and making that a prayer in itself. um, I know for me that's dramatically changed how I interact with people. in a much more loving and kind way. And no longer, not anxious or afraid or scared to be who I am. Um, because the more I am able to sit with it and the more I'm able to see it as a sacred opportunity, the more myself comes out. And isn't that what we want? Don't we want to be ourselves and be our true selves? That's really yeah. Like the more we can be within the sacred, the more our true light shines, and the more joy and happiness you will see, and the more love, which is really cool. Really cool. Um, yeah, I've just seen it play out in so many in my life, especially. And I've seen it play out in many other people's lives where the more open they are to receiving the love and the more they treat every moment as something sacred, the more the universe pours into them and the more they align with who they are and the more blessings come into their life and the more room is created for them to receive so much goodness, and it's incredible. Yeah, I'm just curious to hear other people's thoughts on this and what they do to create those sacred moments within their everyday. Um, you know, especially like sitting down and having a meal, giving thanks for the meal. That's a big one. And just finding those small things within your life that bring you back to yourself, bring us back to ourselves, bring us back to being nature and our divinity. Um, yeah, yeah, so good. It's like when we see ourselves as part of something bigger, um, it takes a lot of pressure off of us. One, because it's like you don't have to be the person to hold the whole world up. You start to see the pieces that are in play and start to see your own individual piece. And then as that unfolds and you put yourself into a place of service and say, Pachamama, I'm here. Please use me. Um, I'm here to be of service. I'm here to love others. And watch that unfold. It's so beautiful. And the more willing you are to open up to that, the more opportunity arises. One of my favorite quotes from the Bible is kind of like, God will never give you more than you can handle. And sometimes that doesn't feel true. Sometimes you're like, what the heck? This is too much. But then you make it through and you're a little bit stronger for it. And there's gifts and treasures that come through with that. And that builds faith and trust. And then through that trust is more capacity to love. And then those gifts that you have start to come out because of your faith and love. And then those gifts are used for the service, and like they just come naturally. And then people come into your life that need that, and it's just a beautiful process of watching how the divine Pachamama, how the universe brings you to that place, but you have to ask for it first. You have to ask for it first. There's this teaching about the Pakpo, which is this bubble around us that protects us, and nothing can enter your Pakpo without your consent. It allows good things in, but nothing can enter without your consent. And the divine knows that. Like the divine is respectful of that. Everything respects that. When you're tired and weak and don't take care of yourself, you're subconsciously letting things negative into your pakpo. And that's where like Huchamikwe comes in and work with the Huchamrumi and Limpia. And all these clearing things are because we are human, and you know, we allow these things into our pakpo that um affect us and bring us out of ourselves. So a lot of these techniques are for, you know, for clearing and um, helping us get back to that place of balance in Sami. But going back to like our gifts of service and our alignment, yeah, it's when we have to um, allow the divine to come into us and say, yes, I'm here. Please, please, please use me. Please come into me. Please open me up. Please teach me to be more loving. Teach me my gifts. Help me to serve others. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's a prayer I say every day. Every day I wake up and I just help me be more loving. Help me be more loving. Help me be a reflection of the love that you have for us. Help me be a reflection of you every day. And just it takes time. Oftentimes, you know, when you start down this journey, there's that initiation, and there's challenges that come in. And they can be tough. They can be, you know, they're what you need. And you'll be provided for and supported in all of that. Like I say, God will never give you more than what you need, or God will never give you too much. And you'll always be provided for, and you know, it'll open up to things you never thought were possible in your life. I've seen it take so many people on places and far out places, and you know, to new places. They were just like, "What?" It's so surreal. And that's just part of this. It's part of this journey. It's part of learning how to one love yourself, and then how to like receive your gifts, and then come at a place of service to where you know, where you're really starting to open up to others and to be who the creator sees you as, which is beautiful. I always like the analogy of making incense, where you know you have to get the herbs and you grind them, and you get the different, you know, like frankincense or myrrh, and you grind them. They have to be ground down to such a fine powder first. That's often, you know, how that's how it works. That's the soul journey. You have to be grinded down, made into something fine, something pure, something that can be molded and put together. And then through this process, you become malleable. And then you start to really sink into yourself and become essence, become this incense, and become this prayer. You become the living prayer. It's yeah. I wish that upon everyone, to become a living prayer for themselves. It's just such a beautiful way of living.